I thought you did.
Yeah, like that.
Now that look is more like Gary Busey could play you.
Going in the dark and then plug something in and go, ah!
This is what we want, okay? But you gotta follow through, not just the look. You gotta
The attitude.
Yeah, it's the attitude is the persona.
That's a
it's
great
the
look.
day-to-day existence. Okay?
You gotta be ready for
too
the
many of us
cha-ching.
go like this. Oh, I
Yeah,
cha-ching.
tone it down. We tone it down.
We tone it down, and we play by the money game. Okay? There you go.
Those are the Dean Barkers of our world.
That's all
They
of
tone
us.
it down. See, Dean Barker,
all
his hair
stand.
would stand up in a certain situation. Oh, shit.
What? Hiccups?
Yeah.
Get a look at Bicey's shirt here. He's trying to lose the hiccups. We're filming a guy trying to get rid of the hiccups. And we're not helping.
Peace out.
Peace out.
Oh, there's some bombing.
So okay, let's say that you, Dilly, you were nominated for Best Actor for your role in Educated Bowlers or whatever. Nick Nolte, and he won, and he brought you up there, and you got to say a little bit at the mic. What would you say? What political statement would you say?
I wouldn't even be political. I'd be like, oh, bros, we all love each other. We're all dealing with it. Stop the war. Everybody give me more money. Give me another role. That would be where it's at.
And your agent would suddenly, his phone would be ringing off the hook. Get Dilly!
Stop, come on.
Give me more money.
Like,
Yeah, you're spending too much money on the war and not enough money on my salary.
Do you expect me to continue to appearing in my capacity to appear?
So
I need more money.
yeah, there you go. And Joe, you were saying if you were Michael Moore, you could have done a better job. So let's hear it. What would you have said if you were up there?
Well, I would have. He had days to prepare.
Well, okay, you've got about 10 seconds.
Not long enough. I would have said President Bush is embarrassing the United States because the people of the United States are good people who don't want to be at odds with the rest of the world. We have no desire to be at odds with the rest of the world. We're just human, simple people who enjoy the simple pleasures of the things, you know. And we have no real desire to be at odds with the rest of the world. And we'd like to be able to travel around the world.
Except for those French guys.
Well, I didn't like the French, the women anyway.
French fries.
Not so big on the French men, but
French men are a bunch of butts.
I'm alright, but that's my basic point, is just that I don't think, you know, I think it's a shame that America, which is a great country, America is a great, great country, a country that other countries look up to for good reason. Because we, in our oblivion, the oblivion that is America, we've generated shit that's never been heard of before on Earth. You know, Jimi Hendrix, you don't get that anywhere else, any culture anywhere. You know, there's all kinds of great shit coming out of America. And yet, we just don't need to be stupid, elitist pricks about it, you know? That's my own opinion. And you know, I don't have anything against any other countries or people. They should look up to us and feel friendly towards us. So, you know, that's what pisses me off, is that this whole thing is going to create decades of hatred toward America.
And Joe, do we have an obligation to try to, once we feel somewhat secure in that belief, I use belief in that sense of the word, once we feel secure in that belief, do we then feel like we should try to, if we see other oppressed peoples around the world, should we try to jump in and try to say, okay, for whatever level we can, granted there's going to be a shitload of bullshit up and down the scale, but at some point should we jump in and say, we're going to try to help you get to at least where you can be expressive about your feelings, be a free person. And do we have that responsibility at all? Being the superpower, having the standard living, consuming the resources we do, living how we do, the whole geopolitical situation of what the world is today, do we have that responsibility to say, okay, well, we see a place in the world where we might make a effect. Now, I'm not saying Iraq is a place where we should have done that, but do we have the right to manipulate other geopolitical strategies so that they're favorable to us, but also to the democratic freedom of other people? That's the hard point. And where do you draw the line? That's the tough fucking giddy go.
It's not that tough.
It is
not
a
as
tough
tough as
giddy go about that.
Well, it's not as tough as they make it out. I think, yeah, I think definitely, and I think that the U.S. should have become a more powerful, force within the UN and I think you got to get the UN behind you and create a world situation, which is like for the first time in human history, we're going to create a world bureau, which makes certain that no fucked up shit goes on. And if the U.S. got behind that and said we're going to support that and we're going to make sure and we're going to push for, but
human rights, no matter what.
Human rights, no matter what.
No matter what. Dictators that we are towing our line. Sorry, you're right.
Yeah, right.
No matter
the
what.
places
Human
that
rights
we're in, we're
is
making
the
money.
foundation.
Indonesia, Saudi Arabia, you're fucked unless you change your thing.
Human rights are the foundation of where it has to be. That's where I'm coming from.
Right, I agree.
Voting rights for women and men, education for women and men, birth control for women and men.
No millionaires.
Well, millionaires, as far as, you lay the basic groundwork, and if somebody makes $1 million and it's all fair, I'm not against millionaires.
Well, maybe.
But millionaires that like fucking all these assholes in America, America's the best place to point to the unfairness of millionaires, because those bastards manipulate everything, insider trading, crooks, illegal, that I will agree.
If we just find a way to eliminate tax loopholes and jack up the tax rate.
If things were fair, I have no problem with somebody getting ahead.
But I don't.
Things were fair. Things are not fair. And the things are not fair in this country.
I don't agree with the concept, though, that if I made $1 million, I would not expect that the people around me, the other human beings around me in this society, would I feel that they would be justified in expecting that I would put that money back into them.
A large part of it. I agree.
And I feel like
it should be.
This is a whole flaw in the modern world.
You don't have to live up here where everybody else is living down here.
Yeah, if you feel no connection to other human beings,
cars do you have to have? After a certain point.
If you feel no connection to other human beings, then you've got a situation of war, because those human beings are going to attack you.
Well, see, I will agree with that totally, because in this country alone, I say it's ripe for revolution. I don't give a shit about terrorism and all this other bullshit. Even before 9/11, I was saying this crap. Fuck this, if you can't say this on the air and live on TV. American economic inequity is bullshit. And there are the huge masses that live under shit, and there's a few people who live hugely wealthy. And terrorism, fuck terrorism. It is wrong. And there needs to be a revolution in this country. Fuck terrorism. I don't give a shit about Muslims, Arabs, everybody else. I'm talking about old school fucking revolution, economic revolution, and that's the fact of the matter. and that there are way too many people who are exploiting way too many other people. And I'm sick of that. I am sick of that. Because I have the education and I feel that exploitation myself. They play you this game. They feed you these cards your whole life. And everyone has choices. I know that. I don't have to be where I am. I could be playing some game with an oil company, making $100 grand a year, but also I'd have changes in my life. That is wrong. It's wrong. But see, now with this personal freedom shit and Operation Iraqi Freedom and all this other crap, Homeland Security, anytime you speak out against the government, you're going to be automatically thrown into that terrorist plot. Okay?
Yeah.
And that's why
Yeah,
you're going to be sure that people understand what I'm saying.
Be detained.
There's a totally different aspect to the kind of revolution I'm talking about.
Personal
An
freedom.
economic revolution, an education revolution.
Yeah,
It's
people in the
different.
United States do not want education.
No, they don't.
The bulk of the people in the United States have never wanted it.
They just want a
Education.
paycheck.
Education is a threat to their whole system.
Yeah, they want
If
a
you
paycheck.
begin to educate people, all you're doing is causing problems because you're getting people who aren't going to fit right into the system and just happily kind of dance into their nightmare.
Exactly.
You know, and so the idea, because you start educating people and shit, everything starts to fall apart. The religion starts to fall apart.
Yep.
All the kind of
the
little
religion,
systems of
especially.
manipulating people psychologically.
Yep.
It starts to fall apart, and that is what America is always claiming to want to educate its people more, but you always notice that the people on the conservative side are actually cutting education in actual
They're
fact.
really highly educated people. They do not want any of them. They don't.
Yeah.
Neither side does.
And they
Neither
also
side
want to,
does.
like, you see, like Bush, he wants to educate, like he wants to divert more of the money into religious schooling. They got policies in place to put in place religious schooling as
Yep.
opposed to like, oh, let's teach creationism on an equal par with evolution. Despite whether or not any serious scholars teach creationism anymore, we still would enjoy it. And
Yep.
so, let's teach it. Okay. And people don't want education because education has a destiny.
That's the thing.
There's a destiny within education.
Education leads to free thinking, which is the scariest shit for any governmental regime. Democracy is any kind of regime. Now, a true democracy would enjoy all of its people being ultra educated. But the American is not a true democracy because they want to manipulate you. They want business and religion and all these other factions to manipulate your ass.
Bruce is coaching this guy.
No, see, that's the whole thing about this new Homeland Security crap. You can't even sit around like now talking about, our government screwed up, whatever. Because now, with all this ultra fucking conservative bullshit, the FBI is going to be investigating your ass. As soon as you go on the air saying, you know what, I don't really believe in this administration. I don't really care about this. I think there should be an economic revolution in this country, an educational revolution in this country. As soon as you say that, oh my God, you're on the shit list, man. You're on the freaking shit list.
Are you a fucking union guy?
Yeah, and you're a college professor? Oh my God. Bing! Oh, put him on the list. You know what? Your file's going to be about this thin. It's going to be Tom Billy's never made any money. He's fucking worked his ass off. He's helped educate people. Investigate the FBI. You won't find shit. Okay? You won't find shit.
They might find something.
They can just make
Oh,
some
that
shit
one
up.
time, let's see, maybe I kidnapped Patty Hearst.
Not that, but other criminal offenses.
Like,